Thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution. We talk about crypto, everything crypto, almost daily, jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, Bitcoin 1 hour. We're going to start on the lower term time frames and work backwards because just want to talk about this current Bitcoin price action. So in 2019, very common, you would see these rising channels out of Bitcoin and they would break higher and just moon edition. Now, this is obviously broke to the downside. You have a possible bearish retest, which means more downside. This could be forming a bigger pattern. We're going to talk about that in just a second. I've got very good graphics from previous cycles where shows you really what Bitcoin does when it's bullish. Like this thing moves differently than what we've seen over the last year. Okay, so we'll know how to recognize and what to look for. So this will be very beneficial to watch this video all the way to the very end. With the 1 hour chart, you had your rising channel, which was technically a bull flag, supposed to break to the upside, broke lower, but it was also rising. Like a lot of times bull flags will be falling wedges, right? So you got your bearish retest here where it's broken down. And recently you have Binance with this anti-money laundering stuff going on after the Bits Lotto, which is kind of seemingly no-name exchange. A bunch of money was going through Binance, and so now Binance has put holds on some withdrawals, and people are worried. But I've done some research, and essentially people are just being asked for further KYC, which potentially is going to happen more and more across crypto as the United States crunches. They take a strong stand in crypto and they really push for KYC across exchanges. And so that's something that we have to deal with and worry about in the United States, but to what extent, we'll have to see. The most important thing is, so you get this breakdown because of this news, right? Potentially. And now you put in a double bottom, but you're still putting in a bearish retest. Bearish retest, if this gets rejected, should continue to the downside. On the miracle that you break above this level and flip this, then you're looking for a move. Like you got a weekly close above 22,000, 22,500. It was bullish above here. However, the chart says the highest probability as you get a move down lower. And I'm going to cover a few ideas why this is most probable. And so then it's just like, hey, do you get the daily 200 SMA bounce that we were looking for? Or do you lose this level and this entire move just kind of fizzles out of the way? And this was all just for nothing. But we're going to cover those ideas in the video. So this was the FTX sell-off that happened previously. Complete nuke of the market. And this is resistance. It's strong resistance. And you want to see a break and flip of this level. It's like we talked about here, hold 22,000. So you get some consolidation, and everything is fine unless you lose the 200 simple on the daily, right? So any type of pullback would be completely normal, but everybody's looking for this buy. And so if it happens, if Bitcoin's headed higher, then everybody, and keep in mind, cooling off, the RSI is way overbought. Things needs to cool off and come down, and that would give you room for this support bounce. But like I said, everybody's buying there. Everybody on every YouTube channel, if they have half a cent, they should be talking about this buy idea because that's how they're programmed to trade, right? But if some whales come in and front run the idea, that means they buy before everybody else is programmed to buy. People will come in here on a move higher and just FOMO into the move. Bitcoin weekly chart. This guy, he sent me a shout out. He said he made $2,000 in trades. Can't wait for I've got a killer trading group. Like we dominate this market. I've got some amazing shout outs to give in my trading group. This person, BNB short 224%. This person, Vechain long, he's up 600% on one trade. This person, he says, I've been in the group a few years. And this is realistic. This is here as real as it gets. Thank you for everything. Honestly, life-changing. I'm feeling a little bit stuck at this point. Like during the last run-up, during the last bull market, he turned $10,000 in the group into $1.7 million. He took about $600,000 in profits. He paid his house off and his debt, and then he held the rest. Say how he didn't listen to me, and you know, he's basically got about 70 G's left. Experience is the best teacher, right? But I mean, in group, he took $10,000 to 1.7 million. I can't make people sell. I can just say, hey, you know what? Don't hold downtrends. I'm not holding downtrends. I didn't sell the top. I got out at 58,000. I did not sell the top. I did not hold a bunch of altcoins. I missed all kinds of moves, all kinds of bounces on the way, but I didn't take losses. And so now it's like, okay, let me reaccumulate and wait for the coming next bull run. And so again, we've had this quick move higher, and everybody is waiting on the next move, and we'll cover that in a second. Your group is a real deal, mate. I love it. I'm learning a lot. I'm here to stay. You've got to learn the basics. You're trying, this is player versus player. This is you trying to take everybody else's money. This is not a team sport. This is not like, you don't lose money. It doesn't just disappear. Other people take it, right? And so you want to be in a group that gives you guidance, the best setups. And we had so many people rejoining the group, coming back to where the money is made. We're going to continue the discount. So right now it's 60% off if you pay in crypto, and an additional $100 off to make sure you're in the best setups, period. Go over to my website, cryptorev.net. Join. If you have any questions about joining, send me an email, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. Bitcoin weekly chart. So let's talk about, this is critical. You want to see, so here's 2018 cycle top right here. You're above it. Bulls, you got to hold it. If you came down and retested it, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. The pattern says, hey, the target's supposed to be right here, above the 200 weekly. Right now, you're above the 200 daily. So that's a bullish idea. And then the next level would be a break and hold of this previous high. So where you have this double bottom, you have a low and then a higher low, and then you put in a higher high and you start to confirm an uptrend. And you potentially, if you do get a higher low, another higher low, then your next high, you're looking for a higher high. And then off we go, right? So this will give you your best altcoin entries if on a pullback, right? Sometimes you got to be patient. Now, and again, we're in group, we're nailing all these bangers just like crazy. I've never seen such a strong team. And if that happens, I want to cover some altcoin ideas towards the end of the video to give you some ideas of some trades that we've made, why we made them, and then some trades that you could possibly make yourself. This is, so shout out to my admin Trip, who's very gifted, and talked about how in 2019, right? This is 2019 market bottom, where freaking you get this huge break above the 200 SMA daily chart. And then you begin to form this rising. So here you see this rising wedge, right? So here's a rising wedge, broke lower. Okay, same thing happened. You'll get these rising wedges that'll form bigger rising wedges, which I mean, technically is still a bear flag, but it's trending higher because people are willing to pay higher prices at every low and every high. And so you're putting in higher lows and higher highs on a potentially bearish pattern. But when Bitcoin starts breaking higher on bearish patterns, write it on the wall, write it on your whiteboard. Like, things are different. Like, all your bullish setups are going to have a super high success rate. And that's when this market gets really fun. And we're at a point where we could be here. We could be here. We don't know yet, but things are headed in the right direction at this point. Parabolic move, AGIX, we nailed it. Look, Mr. Khan posted it. 424% profits straight up right after accumulation. And so once these coins go into this basically doing nothing, I mean, you had significant pumps, but it kept coming down to the same level, and you could have been just buying bounces off the 200 simple. And this is AGIX, singularity.net. You have this long accumulation after a downtrend. And he posted, he said, moving like freaking, you can't get a better call than that. There's different ways to be successful. And you have to understand, like, this market is cyclical. And part of the market cycle is, you know, is it going to take off now, or is it going to move sideways? Have we avoided the downside? And you just don't know. But we do know that the weekly is below the 200 simple. We also know that the daily is above the 200 simple. So if the daily and the weekly are both above the 200 simple, that's the most bullish situation you can be in. You won't even believe how easy it is. It's like money printer. Just turn it on. It's amazing. The concern is, we talk about this all the time, you had this previous pump. This is the stock market. This is ES1 exclamation point. I use this to nail a lot of Bitcoin moves, altcoin entries, Bitcoin entries. We said what we do not want to happen is this to break out and then retrace back in, break out and then retrace back in, like it did twice previously, and then you had downside. Well, you broke out and you lost it, and that's not amazing. Now, will we get a 25 basis point rate hike, which the market is priced in, it's looking for? And so now, if you don't get 25 basis points, you got downside here, probably Bitcoin pulls back, okay? Because you remember, Bitcoin, this move, this giant green candle happened because the Fed came out with a interest rate hike of just 50 basis points, which was considerably lower than, well, was not 75 basis points, which was time and time again that happened at the FOMC meeting, was announced by the Fed. So listen, most important thing right now, soft landing would happen if the Fed comes in, they do a 25 basis point rate hike. This would be freaking golden for crypto. Bitcoin would take off, and then they pause. Now, it wouldn't feel good. Society, you got freaking eggs that cost $9 a dozen. It wouldn't feel good. SHIB. I talked to you guys about SHIB, and I want to make sure and help you guys understand. Like, I talked to you guys about it. It hadn't broken above the 200 simple on the daily, but now it has. And this is one of those coins where I talked about, hey, potentially holding it for 3 or 6 months if Bitcoin cooperates. But look at all this price action here. Oh, you see this bounce, this rejection, this rejection, this rejection, this rejection. Well, this major level of resistance is right here. Okay. Now in group, like we're up 290% because we posted it previously, right? We're buying down here. We're buying the bottom, right? But the next entry idea, like I'm saying, 3 and 6 months, if you want to be a holder, wait till break at this level at about last 4 digits, 12, 16, quadruple 0, 12, 16. Then you want to flip it and you want to see this coin. And I think this SHIB could easily 2x. I think Doge could do the same. If Bitcoin cooperates, these altcoins take off, everything goes as planned, Bitcoin does something crazy, everything changes. Ocean. And so again, I posted this in Trading Group, and it was by the breakout of this falling wedge, right? We just brought, a lot of people were like, well, how's your success rate? Well, it's really high because we buy when the move starts. We're buying the move after the breakout, we buy the retest. We're up considerably, 56% so far. Well, that's actually the entire distance, right? Because we bought the breakout and then it's up obviously a lot higher. Now, look, the retest gives you, just like we were looking for on SHIB, we need this thing to flip. I just want you guys to understand like how easy this can be if you're waiting on the retest of these. This is a major level. All the sellers and buyers have been here. Like everybody is looking at this level. Key. SHIB is way overbought. Okay, if you got a pullback, a deep retrace, like you would pull Fibonacci retracement and look for, a retrace if Bitcoin pulls back, and that's probable, and maybe you don't get the breakout till later on. So, but you chart it. All you do is you go in here and you right click and you add the alert. And you know what? When it happens, SHIB is going to send you you're going to get an email from Tradingview, and then you're going to know when to buy. And that is the easiest trading strategy there is in this market. You can also do it on these falling wedges, where if the falling wedge hasn't broken out, you can add alert on a trend line. It will tell you, you will get an email that says it's broken the trend line. But what you have to watch out for is see these wicks. All these are fake outs. This is already confirmed breakout, so you're just looking for a retest. So you just constantly, like, you're looking for re-entry after this falling wedge, which has been in the price action, has been in this price act here since May of 22. You're putting in a higher high. Things are different. We're looking for a lower low next. That's going to be the best buy. And then we're going to higher high on Ocean. QNT just started to retest. Now, this cannot lose this level. This is not buy now. This is if this, plan A, plan B. It's always plan A, plan B. If this breaks this level, you don't want to even enter this coin. But QNT has retested. So potentially miss that move. But if you look, you could see that there's very good resistance right overhead. So, but it's very common. Like if you get some Bitcoin downside, you get another attempt at a retest. And then you can go in here to like the 1 hour and you can find a falling wedge based on this idea. And then you got a falling wedge on support, right? And that gives you a timer because you're running out of room. Because look, if you look at a triangle or a falling wedge, my favorite trades, they have an apex. They're running out of room, but you're coming down here to this support level. Look at this. Previous support, you got double top, reverse the entire trend, and then you go all the way down here. So that's a key level. So if you come down here, there's tons of buyers stacked right here because they're talking about the same exact thing that we talk about. Technical analysis is a self-fulfilling prophecy that works because everybody uses it. When you get better, you know what everybody else does, and then you do it sooner and better and faster, and then you take more money from more people, and you get ridiculously rich. Again, AGIX, after this long-term accumulation, just up only. Up only. We'll have these green boxes of accumulation and we'll talk about it. SHIB did this. If you go back through my videos and you look up SHIB, I said SHIB is going to hit 200% gains. And it did, based on this box, accumulation boxes, right? RLC is another one that we've talked about, but hasn't really exploded yet. And there's tons of altcoins that haven't exploded yet. You know, data is one that I haven't, I posted in group. Every single altcoin season, it goes 400%, right? And it pulled like 68% in a couple days for the group. But some of these coins, it's like clockwork. RLC typically does very well. You don't want to lose this level and go back into the pattern. You have to have fundamentals and news, and we got in March, we'll have all our news stacked for these altcoins to take off and run crazy. And so if you're looking, if Bitcoin continues higher, the altcoin rally will potentially be in about a month and a half. Okay. Then you've got to be up to speed before that so you can make the most of this move higher. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment in the comment box. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.